Welcome to the world of group home riches, where you can achieve financial freedom while making a positive impact on society. Are you tired of working long hours for someone else? Do you dream of being your own boss and creating a better future for yourself and others? Look no further. With Group Home Riches, you can invest in real estate and provide a valuable service by offering safe and comfortable homes for individuals in need.
The number one investment in real estate.
And start building a better future for yourself and those around you. Let's make a difference together with Group Home Riches.
What can I do? What can we do? So I started I just go on social media. And I think YouTube, just looking at this boarding home thing, shelter and all those things. And I stumbled on Group Home Riches. I stumbled on some of your videos that you have done and started looking into them. And I was so impressed by what I heard, the testimonies and how helpful it has been to some people, moving them from homelessness to having homes. So I was just intrigued, and that's why I got the Gold Course package and I bought it. And yeah, that was the beginning of this whole thing. When I spoke with this lady and she told me that, okay, she just bought a new house that she's trying to rehab and put it on the market. So I said, I would like to see it. We met, I saw it, and she actually asked me how I want her to partition it and I would like it. So I said, okay, that's good. So we did that, and I just went ahead and paid for the first month, paid the month and the deposit, and that was in January. If the lease can start in February, since we are just doing it in January and need to get everything together. And she said, not a problem. And I started in February. The lease started in February without anybody. But in that February, I started aggressive marketing. I started calling people, calling organizations and like that. And someone called me. I think one other guy that was doing group homes called me and if I still have beds. I said, oh, of course. So that became my first resident. So my first month, I only had one person, but at least it reduced my rent. So I still paid the second month, the month of March off pocket, added to what he had. Then in the month of April, I happened to get my second resident, and that was how, so I started, before you know it, I started getting, within April, May, I got people already that they started paying for them. The rent, the business started paying the rent and paying the bills for my expense.
Perfect. So it took like maybe 2 or 3 months to kind of cover costs and become profitable.
That's correct. Yeah. But actually, February, March. Yes. Then from April, the business started paying for itself. I started recovering. I started getting some things coming in.
All right. Then you hit the ground running.
That's correct.
Yeah. So for the beginners out there, if you noticed, Temi didn't wait till you had the property to do what we typically recommend being the first step, which was marketing, reaching out to organizations, nonprofits, hospitals, even other facilities. We often get a lot of questions, how do I start with little to no money? Again, the strategy always depends on your resources. So to me, it sounded like you had some savings to where you could put the lease deposit down and then you had some reserves in place.
Yes.
If there's someone out there listening to this and they're literally check to check, they can't do this. It's the same exact talk that you would have with a landlord. But instead of offering market rent, you say, hey, Mr. Landlord, instead of market rent, here's how much I think I can generate on your property. And I'm willing to, split the profit with you or something like that. And I'm sure if you were in that position, my bet would be that the investor that you're working with would have gladly done that.
Yes, she would have. I agree to that.
I was going to say another thing I wanted to highlight from our coaching program. Temi followed the exact blueprint. A lot of people don't take my advice and they immediately go to Craigslist or Zillow and start cold calling landlords that they don't know. They're dealing with a lot of agents that are pretending to be owners or property managers.
Yes.
When a lot of times, if you just sit back and think about it, you probably have a real estate investor in your phone that you've
Right.
already that you already know, or even like a family friend or even family member. They're going to be much easier to talk to. So, and also if you don't, we recommend that you go to the real estate meetup groups, which Timmy had already done, and that's where he met his it's a business partner. Even though
Yes.
she's not getting a cut of the profit, she's supplying the capital, aka
Yeah.
the homes. Yeah, it's a key ingredient, but we always recommend that you do the marketing ahead of time, just to kind of bare minimum you get your confidence up.
So I went back to my phone. I remember that there was a time I attended one meeting. I think it was like a real estate meetings like that. So I met a lady that was 2 years prior, before we started talking. I met a lady then that said she has about 25 houses like that. So I got her number. So I just remembered that, okay, let me reach out to that lady. So I
Hmm.
checked my phone. I didn't even remember her name again. So I was looking at my phone. I just typed real estate because anywhere I meet people, I identify if I save their name, I identify them with wherever I met them. So her name just popped up on my call, and I called her, and that was how this whole journey started for my first home.
It's always a trade-off. So for a lot of landlords, they're just going to be happy getting paid on time and not getting calls from people.
That's correct.
That's why she's willing to work with you. And
Yeah.
then even if you guys do want to negotiate, you can start with, hey, why don't I'm willing to go 200 or $300 above market rent. Now, many of you may not think that's a lot out there, but there's a real estate investor listening, or anyone that's been looking into real estate investing. That's how much most landlords profit on their properties, 200 or $300 per month. That's what they're aiming for. So if you can give them an additional 200 or $300 per property, you just doubled their income for the
Yeah,
year.
income. Yeah,
So,
that's correct.
but Temi didn't even, you didn't even need to do that. This woman just wanted to be paid on time and work with a solid tenant. So,
Yeah.
and she also had some knowledge about the industry beforehand. So that worked out.
Yeah.
Want to learn more about the future real estate? Sign up for your free training material at www.grouphomeriches.com.